Point number 5, missing links. Are there any transitional forms between species? Now, theistic view creation point. In general, we do not see fossils of transitional forms between different species of plants or animals. A few fossils that appear transitional have been reported, but major gaps remain. Most of the transitional forms, the missing links that we expect to find are still missing. Now, atheistic view evolution point, common ancestry and molecular isolation. All living things, all species have come from a single ancestor through a process of natural selection of small variations. Our descent with modification over a long period of time. Darwinists often say that evidence of a common descent lies in the fact that all living things contain similar DNA. For example, Richard Dawkins states, "The reason we know for certain we are all related, including bacteria, is the universality of the genetic code and other biochemical fundamentals." Does the similarity of design prove a common ancestor or common designer? This is a question followed by, if all species share common ancestor, we should expect to find the protein sequences that are transitional from, say, fish to amphibian or from reptile to mammal, but that's not what we find at all. Michael Denton observes, at the molecular level, there is no trace of the evolutionary transition from fish to amphibian to reptile to mammal. Now let's think about the similarity and the progression. The rarity of observed transitional form is due to the rarity of actual transitional forms because natural evolution alone did not produce what we now observe. If every living creature were distinct biochemically, a food chain probably could not exist. Perhaps life with a different biochemical makeup is not possible. And even if it is, perhaps it couldn't survive in the biosphere. In this biosphere, similarity and progression does not automatically imply common ancestry. In this case, we know it means there is a common creator or intelligent designer. Now, with the creation account, no genetic mutation. Every species was created according to its own kind. This is very biblical. And in Genesis 1:21-25 it says, "So God created the great creatures of the sea and every living and the moving thing with which the water teems, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. God made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that move along the ground according to their kinds. And God saw that it was very good." B. Flood of Noah. Preservation of all living creatures according to their kinds. Pair of all creatures that have the breath of life in them came to Noah and entered the ark. The animals going in were male and female of every living thing, as God had commanded to Noah. Then the Lord shut him in Genesis 7:13-16. So the scripture clearly affirms that every living creature was created according to its own kind. Minor evolution with the same species is possible, but it rejects an evolutionary idea of changing one species into another one, so-called macroevolution, the genetic mutation. So when God said in the Bible that He created all the animals and everything according to their kind, it means that there is not a transmutation from between species to species. So every species has a different kind of DNA,